Princess Sienna urgently contacts us in person and gives us dire news. King Wolsens has suddenly changed his mind regarding Duke Bernard and has decided to sentence him to death despite his earlier promise not to. Not only is Bernard someone that is very dear to Sienna, his death will certainly spell the end of the Varian Kingdom, since his capable leadership was the only thing that kept the Western Front afloat. For the sake of saving everyone, Sienna has defied her brother and sought out the Sinna Knights for aid. Rhys makes a pivotal decision, pledging his loyalty to Princess Sienna over the king, and rallies the entirety of the Sinna Knights to storm Berwick Island at night to save Bernard before he can be silently executed, even if this action may condemn them all with charges of treason. So begins Chapter 11-1, Exile Island. Objective: bring Rhys to the temple within 20 turns. Welcome to Berwick Island, a small landmass that has turned into a prison complex. Our assault begins in the cover of darkness, but the enemies are already prepared to face us, even erecting 2 ballistas for defense. Though the map is very small, we are forced to take the extremely long way around through a very well defended location. As much as you would like to bring Laurentia to fly over and deal with the ballista immediately, Rhys has sent her off ahead of time to scout the prison complex. She is already inside fighting off the guards and thus unavailable to assist us in our charge. Our advance will therefore be under enemy ballista fire almost the entire way through. Party members with Arrowbane will be a massive boon here. Near our starting position is an enemy soldier who carries a bag of 3 antitoxins. At this stage in the game, a new bag is something that we dearly want, as inventory space becomes more and more of a premium. Next to this soldier, hidden in the forests, is the bounty target Moro. He is, in all likelihood, your final bounty target, unless you have yet to do Sylvis's Paralogue to capture Weiss. If you still have remaining targets on the board after Moro and Weiss, then you have unfortunately missed someone along the way and will not be able to fulfill all the bounties for the maximum reward. Regardless, savor your last chunk of change from the Mercenary Guild and take Moro in alive. Beware, as with most of this chapter, ballistas will be attacking you the entire time as you go for the capture. Aside from these 2, you can also access a lighthouse near you. Clearing the unit guarding it will then let you put a unit on this tile, illuminating a large radius of the map to give you some vision. Though the vision is initially helpful, there is no need to stay on the lighthouse unless you need a spotter for any reason. The lighthouse radius can spot the eastern ballista, but not the western one. Going to that eastern ballista to take it down requires crossing the shoals to the opposite shore of the island. Before you do, make sure to search the treasure chest on the eastern tip to get a Vanish Stone. The 2 forests directly past the shoal each contain an overwatching crossbow that will rip you to shreds if you try to cross by force. Either break through using Arrowbane, or activate the Vanish Stone to sneak past. Either way, make sure the advance is fast. Every passing turn invites another chance for the ballista to kill one of your more fragile units. After passing into the northern island, your first priority should be getting rid of the ballistas, but be warned, more ambushes await you as you go uphill. This part of the map tests the efficiency of your army, or the ability to otherwise sustain through the constant fire from above. Make short work of your enemies and take some time to reorganize. The temple is just to your left, past one more cliff to climb up. The top of the hill is where the western ballista lies, along with some horse archers and a named lance cavalry named Lyle. Plow through them as fast as you can and lay siege to the temple. Make sure to take down the ballista that's been bothering you all this time to get the winch it drops, and finish off the boss on the temple. After all you've been through to get here, the boss of this map is possibly the tamest thing so far. After the fighting is done, park Rhys on the temple and clear the map. You will find that the initial turn limit of 20 is actually quite generous. As long as you haven't been stalled too long by the ballistas, you should be able to get to the end with more than enough time to spare. Once this map is complete, Laurentia will leave your party and leave all her stuff behind. Don't panic, you'll get her back at the start of the next chapter, which would be immediately after this since there are no more maps in Chapter 11. The only exception is if you're doing any of the 4 recruitment paralogs, which would now be done without her. If not, feel free to proceed to Chapter 12. See you soon.